So YouTube finally punished Logan Paul. Hi guys, it's Victor, Give Me a Break Man, Give Me a Flake Man. I am not editing this video because this is my Give Me a Flake Man channel, King of the Moron channel, and we're just going to give it to you. It's 3:30 a.m. I just finished preparing a test for my students, but since I'm up, wanted to talk about this. I did a video on this about about a week ago, a live show. It wasn't a prepared. It was a prepared video, but it was a live show. And it had a lot of information about the forest and the suicides in Japan, things like that. And 30,000 a year, down a bit actually, but still guns kill more people. Anyway, YouTube has finally responded, and it's kind of interesting because I wanted to shed a little bit of light on what that punishment actually means. So, in case you don't know, a guy named Logan Paul, YouTube, very famous YouTuber in the YouTube world, not in the real world. If you read comments on Yahoo, you'll see a lot of people like, who is this guy? I never heard of this guy. And honestly, I never heard of the guy. I think I came across a couple of his vines, but that's about it. Anyway, he's apparently huge, and he's made anywhere from $12 to $17 million a year, depending on who you talk to, depending on different estimates. Anyway, the guy's famous. He reaches a lot of people, 12 to 50 million subscribers, etc., etc. He's big in the internet, and that's important because the internet is a reflection of society. So anyway, what happened was he went to a forest known as Aokigahara. When I'm speaking English, I can't seem to pronounce that correctly. Anyway, it's known as, the nickname is the suicide forest, and he stumbled upon a person who had committed suicide, and he made the quite ill-advised decision to put it on camera. He blurred out the guy's face, but anyway, he put up the video. It got about 6 million views and 600,000 thumbs up. Now, I'm telling you, that's what I read. I didn't actually see the original video until much later. But today, or I think over a week later now, YouTube has decided to punish him, and their punishment is they are dropping him from Google Preferred and putting his originals on hold now. As you probably, if you're a internet geek or YouTube geek or media geek, you probably heard about the PewDiePie scandal. He said the N-word, nigger, and he made. Now I'm sorry I said that. I didn't do it to offend you. I just think it's silly to say the N-word. Like it's just silly. I mean, I say fuck, but anyway. Okay, so that was silly. But anyway, PewDiePie was caught saying the N-word while playing a video game, and then doing like Nazi jokes and stuff. And although he claims he was joking, he was also ill-advised. If you're on the internet, you know people are just going to go crazy. If you say, I'm sure I'm going to get hate just for what I just did just now. but and I'll get back to that in a minute. Anyway, PewDiePie lost his YouTube Red show as well. So if you don't know, YouTube is trying to break into the Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, pay for TV online market. And a couple of years, it's gone up a little bit. I think it's still way down, but I think it's maybe 5% if they're lucky. It's pretty small. But Hulu's apparently #1 in the world, and then Netflix, and maybe then Amazon Prime, and then YouTube is a distant fourth. But there's a lot of money in that, as you can tell by the amount of crap that Netflix is able to produce now. I mean, where are they getting the money? Obviously, they must be doing well. Bright 2 is coming, and Adam Sandler is never going to have to never going to have to do a press junket again. But so when PewDiePie did what he did, he lost his YouTube show, and the same thing is happening to Logan Paul. Now I understand that. Now that's quite a bit of money. So yeah, I suppose it's punishment. And they also dropped him from Google Preferred, and I gotta admit that I did not know what that was. Now, I'm pretty into YouTube. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I'm a YouTube ambassador here in Nagoya, Japan. So I know a few things. But I did not know about that. Maybe because my function as a kind of volunteer at YouTube, not an employee, is to help smaller YouTubers, which is what I've been doing since the beginning. Give me a break, man. I try to give shout outs to other people and encourage other people to do with their videos and stuff, and been in tons of collabs. But anyway, usually with smaller people. But I never heard of Google Preferred, so I looked it up. And there's actually a site called youtube.com YT lineups, and there it is right there. You can just look up Google Preferred and you'll find it. And you can see the United States, the United States is there. If you click on the United States now, you'll see there's comedy. Click on comedy, but it won't work now because they don't all, you can't click on all of them. It doesn't work on all of them. In fact, it doesn't seem to work on any of these. But if you go back to USA, if you go back to some of these other countries, you can click on UK and you can see all the people there and their categories. And this is for advertisers so that they can choose who they want. It doesn't work with Korea. It doesn't work with Japan. It does work with Mexico. See? I'm not sure why it doesn't work with Japan yet. So I was curious to see who's there because I'm in Japan, but I'm not on the preferred list, I'm sure. But I will tell you a little bit something, a few things that I figured out. Okay, so I've read often in the fake news that YouTubers make anywhere from $3 to $7 per 1,000 views. And I get roughly, you can check Social Blade for this, but I get about, with my combined channels, I get about 5 to 6 or 7,000 views a month. So statistically speaking, I mean, according to those numbers, I should be making well into $2,000, $3,000, right? But I'm not, because that's not really the way it works. According to those stats, I should be making high-end, maybe $3,500. But if I'm lucky if I break 1,000 on a good month, and that's if I got lucky and something got picked up somewhere and went viral. But anyway, not complaining. I've loved doing YouTube. Love communicating with you guys. Even if I didn't make money, that's how I started. Right, the first 3 years, I don't think I'm making any money, but I still did it and I enjoyed it. But I'm thinking now that those stats that you see, those numbers, those figures of $3 to $7 are for people who are on this preferred Google preferred list. They are, yeah, they get the top advertisers. Now, people like me who are not in that group, I believe we make anywhere from $1 to $3 per 1,000 if we're lucky, and sometimes much less. I've had videos that got 10,000 views and made like 50 cents, you know, so it's pretty strange. Nobody really knows, but I'm thinking that's what happened. But again, if he's making, if he's getting 300,000 views a month, then that's still, what is it, $300,000, right? Right? Is that right? No, I'm sorry, 300 million. He's getting 300 million views, not 300. I'm getting 600,000. Sorry, numbers. So he's getting 300 million views a month, which means at least $300,000 minimum. And now if he were, when he was on the preferred list, he must have been making much more, like triple that or quadruple that. So it's going to hurt him financially, but he's still rich as hell. I mean, you're taking away a little bit of his money, and I'm sure quite a few advertisers dropped him, just like they dropped Tiger Woods, but they come back, you know, they come back. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'm one of the people who said, you know, they shouldn't take his channel away, because you can't really blame him, and I've got more evidence for that, because he's kind of I mean, I hate to say, you know, society made me the way I am kind of excuse, but that's what I think is happening now. There's a really interesting video out there by a group called Anonymous. Have you ever heard of them? And Anonymous, anyway, whatever. And the video is basically a bunch of clips, but one of the clips is, a couple clips, it talks about how young people now are addicted to the dopamine hits that we get by using social media. When you post, and just for those of you who don't understand what that means, I'll explain it simply. When you post something to Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and then somebody comments on it, it gives you a little poke of excitement in your brain, thanks to something called dopamine. So it just makes you happy, right? But it's kind of a short, it's like crack. It gives you a short happiness, and then it goes away. And studies show that you need more, right? You're never satisfied with just 10 or 100 or 300 or 1,000. It's got to be growing all the time, or you get depressed, right? Because then it's going in the opposite direction, right? And studies show that people who when you measured someone's happiness, and then they joined social media later, and they started posting stuff, we realized that people are actually are less happy or unhappy. I can't say unhappy, but they're not as happy after they posted, because they're coming down off that high. I guess it's like a little bit of a sugar high. But anyway, the point is, if you want to be successful and you want to keep getting those dopamine hits, you got to keep pushing the envelope and doing crazy shit and posting crazy shit on the internet. And we have become, and everybody knows, this is not news, but everybody knows that. There's so many situations in which you see somebody filming something instead of doing something. And I've been in that situation before where I've seen a lady fall down off her bicycle in the middle of the street, and I felt like, oh, I should film this, but no, but I didn't. I'm not that bad yet. So I got off my motorcycle and went and picked her up and took her to the side. It's happened quite a few times where you're in a situation where you could film something or you could do something, and I've often chosen to do something instead. But I got to tell you, there's a slight tinge of regret. Is it tinge or cringe? Maybe this video is cringe. There's a tinge of regret. That's it. Sometimes, because I missed an opportunity, you know, to promote, to push my YouTube channel a little bit. But that's the kind of society we're living in today, where people like Logan Paul, who, as I mentioned in my last video, says that his goal in life is to become the biggest entertainer in the world. You know, that's what he's going to do. I mean, if that's really his goal, and he's motivated, then he's looking for opportunities to push the envelope, as they say. You know, push the limits and go crazy. And YouTube has been rewarding that by, and not just YouTube, but the world has been rewarding that by watching him. I've got a really good friend on Facebook, my old high school friend. I have very few high school friends left, but most of them are still douchebags. But anyway, some of them are okay. Some of them are okay. If they're watching, if you think I'm talking about you, then I probably am. But very nice guy. He went to Harvard. He's a doctor now, but he sometimes posts videos of people doing insanely stupid stunts, like climbing buildings without any safety harnesses or ropes or anything. And I often wonder, like, and he's got 2 young kids, and I often wonder why he does that, because he's incredibly intelligent, but I think doing stuff like that is sending out the wrong message to people. You should not be encouraging that. And as you might have heard of, about a month ago, no, actually it happened about 2 months ago now, but it was only announced a month later. Quite a famous Chinese, what do they call them? I don't know what you even call these guys, but daredevil, climbed up a building, was doing pull-ups on the side of it, and he fell to his death. And he was trying to build his brand, right? And he killed himself. And this happened. And last year, there's a woman on YouTube who, on the behest of her boyfriend, shot him in the chest when I think he had like phone books in his chest. It must have happened in August or July. He had phone books on his chest, and they thought it wouldn't go through, but she ended up, you know, killing him. There's a guy in England a couple of weeks ago who put his head in a microwave, filled it with concrete, and I don't know what he was thinking, really, but they ended up having to call the fire department to get him out. That's the kind of stupid shit people do, and I'm sure there are many, many more examples that you can see out there. So Logan Paul is an example of that, but I think he's an interesting case study in a way, because he does represent the new youth. I mean, he's 22, so I've been in Japan 26 years. I think I got internet about 22 years ago, maybe. So this guy grew up on that, and social media. How old is Facebook? I don't even know, but I'm sure it's something that was probably a big part of it. Anyway, social media is probably a big part of this guy's brain functions. You know, if you watch this video, I'll link it in the description. Very interesting video by Anonymous. That's just a name. I don't think it's really anonymous. Who knows? Who knows who made it? It could be just one guy with a clever idea. But it's an interesting clip. It's got a Denzel Washington clip in there too. But talking about how people have got to let go of social media and how it's rewiring your brain. And if you think you're addicted, you know, just if you say you're not addicted, then let it go. Walk away for a week. And I've done that. I've done it on various occasions. I make conscious efforts to get off and stay away. And it's easy when you have 2 kids now and jobs. That's the other thing about Logan Paul, though, that I got to admit pisses me off. So this is a guy who has been blessed with the opportunity of making videos, which is something most of us on YouTube would love to do. If we could support our families, you know, if I could buy this house again with YouTube money, that would be amazing. Instead of having to, how many classes I had to teach to buy this house. Right? And this guy probably, you know, he bought a $6.6 million house by making videos. And what does he do? You know, he screws it all up by posting ridiculous stuff. And I did watch Yuta, your man in Japan, Yuta. I forgot what his real YouTube name is, but Yuta, man in Japan, that Japanese man Yuta, that's what it is, who posted a video giving his opinion. Very, very good video, thoughtful video, talking about how it's childish. But you know, he said maybe this guy, it's not an isolated incident, and I agree. You know, I heard he was arrested in Italy. I don't know if that's actually true, but this guy's been doing this for a long time. But again, YouTube's been supporting it, and now YouTube's decision is just to knock him off the preferred list. But he's still going to be making thousands, if not millions, of dollars a year. So is that enough? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. But at the same time, YouTube has that conundrum of how do you fire somebody who's putting money in your pocket? Because YouTube makes about 40% of whatever this guy's making, Logan Paul's making. So if he's making, let's say he's making 10 million, then YouTube's making about 8 million. And that's a lot of money, and YouTube needs that money, right? To pay their employees, which are paid very well, from what I hear. But you know, they've got standards, right? But one thing that honestly, I thought about it. YouTube's, what is it? Their motto is "Do no evil." Is that it? Is that right? Something like that. And if that's the case, then you really don't have a choice. I said before in my last video that I don't think anyone should lose their account, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, part of me thinks everyone's overreacting because. And they made it worse, actually, because by showing and I said this in my last video, so sorry to repeat myself, but by showing that dead body, by TMZ showing that dead body, by people bringing attention to it, they only got more eyes on it, and the family of of the person that they found, the person who committed suicide in the forest, they had a much greater chance of finding that video and seeing that and being hurt by that video. There was one media outlet that I did see. I think it's British, and I forgot what it's called now, but I want to say Mail something, International Mail, but anyway, they put up the same video talking about the story, but they decided to edit out with just black screen the areas that showed the dead body, which is I think the way they should have, the best way to report something like this. So instead of showing it again, look what he did, look at him, look what he did, you know. Instead of doing that, I think talking about it or screening out the screen would have been the best way to do it. But again, you know, this is a society. The internet has given us the opportunity to see anything we want. We can see beheadings. We can see the most graphic sex possible. We can see animal sex. You know, and I'm not saying that because I watch that. I know, well, accidentally sometimes. But the point is, nothing shocks us anymore. Everyone. I don't think any high school kid doesn't know. I mean, they know everything now. But when I was in high school, no, I didn't know about stuff like this. You know, we have become a desensitized society, but we're still human, so we want stimulation. And unfortunately, that stimulation, when you're a 14-year-old boy with your balls just begging to drop, you know, that comes in the form of stupidity. That's the kind of stimulation you need, and Logan Paul supplies that. But if YouTube is serious about their "Do no evil" motto, then it is their duty to do something a little bit harsher than just dropping him off Google Preferred and putting his originals on hold. I would say something stronger, like a year ban or a 6-month ban completely. You know, just kill his channel freeze his channel completely for a year, and demonetize it. You got to completely demonetize it. Yeah, you know, you can't stop him. Logan Paul's going to find someone else to host his videos if YouTube does that. Of course, he'll go to TV. I mean, come on, Jackass. Good Jackass, mainstream television, movies. They do the same thing. And people copy that, and people have died from that as well, even though there's warning signs, right? So there's no way to stop stupidity. But you don't have to be complicit. You don't have to be a part of it. You don't have to cooperate. So if YouTube really wants to help the world, yeah, then I guess this is not enough, in my opinion. What do you guys think? That's enough. I gotta get to bed. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna start giving away some of these things. I don't even know what that is, but I just liked it. I gotta get rid of that thing because every time I make a video and people see that, they think I'm some weeaboo, and all I do is read manga. But I don't. What is it? One Piece? Yeah, that's all I know. But never read it. Okay, all right, that's all. Weird way to end the video. Get back to the question. What do you think about YouTube's decision? Their punishment? Is it enough or not? Talk to you soon. Good night.